Hello, this is a video actually for women in the world today. I live in a country where, or actually, I think it's been a trend on TikTok. This was in the news, and I sent this to my friend yesterday. And it's the news that on TikTok there's a trend that women should stop their contraceptive pills, like the birth control pills. Because it's healthy. I mean, for their system. Uh, but the problem is, like in Norway now, where it's the country where I live. They the capacity at the abortion clinic is maxed out. Like, they don't have capacity to take all the patients that want abortions now, because instead of using contraceptives, they now get pregnant because everyone is sleeping with each other in these days. So yeah, so now abortions are like increasing even more, and it's just so sad to me to I realize that these women, they have no idea what they're doing. They have no clue even that having sex makes children. Like, they will get pregnant if they have sex in the natural way. And I'm not for contraceptives either. I mean, maybe a condom is a safe alternative to just having sex if you absolutely are going to do that. But I know that birth control pills can also kill what's it called, the baby. Like, if it has been what's it called? I don't remember the word. I'll just write it here. If the woman has been impregnated, in spite of the birth control pills, then the birth control pills will kill the child. And also the thing called the spiral. If the egg has been inseminated and fertilized, then that is also like it's expelling that fertilized egg, which is, if it's a fertilized egg, it's going to be a person, a child, which has like 70, 80 to 100 years to live on this earth. That's just going down the drain right there. And then you have the birth control pills, which is like the regret pill, which you take after you had sex the natural way, and you take this pill afterwards to make sure that you kill off anything that is inside there, if it was in fact inseminated and impregnated. Anyway, hopefully, I just pray that the women in the world today will have their eyes open to what is actually happening. They have no clue. I can see it in their eyes. They have zero clue. And that's why Eve was deceived by Satan, because they are easily deceived. Women are more easily deceived than men, but women know how to deceive men. So, but still, it says that Adam was not deceived, but he transgressed. He knew what he was doing, more or less. But Eve fell into deception and into sin. She didn't know what she was doing. And in the same way, the women today, they don't have a freaking clue what they're doing. Excuse my French. They are having sex, contraceptives or not. They think that everything's okay. Why? They think everything's okay because society teaches that. Our culture teaches sex. Our culture teaches that sex is just another thing you do every day. You just do it every day outside of marriage. I mean, if you do it every day inside of marriage, I don't have a problem with it, and you do it the natural way, I don't have a problem with it. But if you are killing your children, I do have a problem with it. Even though it's your child, I have a problem that people are so ignorant they don't know what they're doing, and they don't know that they're going to meet God and answer to their actions regarding this. And more than that, I'm not saying that saying that people have to have children and be productive, be fruitful. But it is a very good thing for a nation to be fruitful and multiply, which is what God said. And the lack of people is the downfall of the ruler of a nation or a country or a territory or a company. If you lack people, you have nothing to create value in your society, in your community. If you're starting a cult or whatever you're starting something, an organization. If you don't have people, you're nothing. It's the same way with the country. If you lack people, which is what all of Europe is heading towards now, like you have for decades now, we have had a negative birth rate at around like 1.6. Now it's probably 1.4, 1.3. And the only thing in Norway that is increasing the population or keeping it going is the immigrants, which are having like 10, 12, 7 children each, while the Norwegian families have less than 2. So of course our nation is given away to another ethnic group. Okay, I'm not saying that's good or bad, but for the ethnic Norwegians, that's of course bad, because you're losing your power and your influence in this country, in this nation, and it's given over to another people. So this is it's called curses in the Bible, but this is a natural consequence more than any other thing than the curse. It's a natural consequence that if you don't have children, if you don't increase and you kill your children. I mean, how many? We have had over 600,000 abortions in Norway. And if you count only that, that's a lot of people that could create a lot of value in society, both financially and every other way. All the talent that is lost and given to someone else probably, but I'm talking spiritually speaking. But also, if you count the number of children that these dead babies now would have had, we're talking millions of people since the 60s or 70s in Norway. So probably if if the birth rate was, say it was I don't know, 3 or 4, then we would have millions more people in Norway right now. You know, maybe tens of millions more people. But we have, I don't know, around 5 million in Norway. And we're having a problem because when the older generations stop working, which they're doing every day, you know, the generations, the demography has increased. We have an increased amount of elders and a decreased amount of youngers. So how we are going to provide for the elders is a mystery. And I have to applaud our former prime minister, which was a woman, but she did say that we have to get more children. She encouraged Norwegians to have more children. It has not worked, it seems, at all. It seems that people could care less about having children, and they are doing abortions and contraceptives instead. So it is just what it is. But it is a sin, of course. It is wickedness to kill your child. That is a fully human life that is just taken away, which is wrong. And so we should stop doing that. And I mean, yeah. And the women of the world today needs to know what they're doing, because I can see that they're just so blinded by the TikTok, the virals. They go crazy, they go mentally insane watching these videos, and they're totally deceived into believing that, number one, sex outside of marriage is just nothing, it's just some kind of pastime activity without consequence because you can have contraceptives, and it's without consequence because you can take abortions. And so that's why women today think it's okay. They think it's totally fine, no problem. They don't care about being like a prostitute or a whore either, because it's the culture today. The culture accepts it, and it's fine in the culture. But biblically, like in God's culture, Bible culture, it's totally unheard of. Even to have sex outside of marriage is unheard of among Christians. And I'm glad, and that's the way it should be. So we just need to pray, and we need to have like campaigns for the women today, because they don't know. They have no clue, and they encourage each other to have sex different ways. They encourage each other to have affairs. They encourage each other to lie and to cheat. I mean, the culture is so bad among women today. I feel that it's just crazy, and I don't know how to teach them other than they have to be taught the word of God, and the men have to teach them, and the women have to teach each other the word of God as well. But I know that if you're in a Bible group and you only have women the same age, you only have women or kind of the same culture coming into that Bible group, then they will just encourage each other to do whatever. They will not. They will read the Bible and find a way to make it suit their lifestyle. Unless you have a man to check them, to say this is wrong, and to keep them on track, they will go astray. That's why God commanded in the church that the teacher in the church and the pastor, the shepherd of a church, is to be a man. The priests were all men. The Levites were all men in the temple. There were no women allowed to do that service. And it is because Paul says it. Adam was first, and then Eve. And Adam was not deceived, but Eve was deceived and fell into sin or transgression. She fell into wrongdoing because she was deceived by Satan. She got tricked into believing a lie. And men are more naturally, God created men to be leaders, to be the teachers, to uphold the moral standard in a society, and to teach the word of God. God called men to be priests, to speak the word of God, and to uphold his laws, to uphold his commandments. Because women are not created the same way. They're created to help the man. To help the man in the home. And for sure, women are also blessed with, like, you have the female intuition, you have the female wisdom, which a man can get carried away in some things, which the women can get his feet back on the ground. But women are not created to uphold the boundaries, uphold the laws, etc., or to teach the word of God, or to be a shepherd in the church or in a society. And you find exceptions. You find Deborah. She was a judge in Israel, and she did a good job. I don't see that God judged her for being a poor leader. She was a good leader. You have Golda Meir. She was also a leader in Israel in modern times. And I don't know much about it or about her, but she probably did an okay job. I'm not saying women cannot, under any circumstance, be a leader, but absolutely, the general rule is that men should be that because they are created from nature to be leaders and uphold the laws and the standards of God in a society. All right, God bless you. Be blessed, and yeah, I'll just encourage you, find ways to teach women and men what is right and wrong in society. What is abortion? What is sex? What happens when you have sex? I mean, it's so simple, but it's completely forgotten because of apps like TikTok, YouTube, and women encouraging each other to do insane stuff. Just crazy. So, God bless you. Have a great day. Cheers, man.